This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, it is my honor and privilege to be able to have you here with us. So let's go ahead and open up that waiting room. Make sure everybody's able to join us today on our program. It is the third Tuesday of the month, which I am extra excited about because we have one of our many amazing doctors that have joined our crusade in helping to make sure people know how empowered they are and able to help themselves. This program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com, where on our website you have the opportunity to ask questions, use that contact us option, especially if you are interested in getting a Zytoscan, which Dr. Dennison is going to mention today. Use it. You can also do info@dailywithdoc.com. And if you have questions that you would like to submit in order to get information as to what would be recommended based on the research and recommendations of Dr. Joel Wallach, email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com. Now, this is a resource for an amazing community. This community is made up of health coaches, certified holistic health coaches, practitioners of all different modalities and all different levels, from surgeons to massage therapists, iridologists, naturopaths, chiropractors, just the list goes on and on and on. So if you are watching this program and you would like to be part of this community, we would love to welcome you into our community. Email us at info@dailywithdoc.com or get back with the person that shared this program with you. If you prefer phone, We also have a phone number at 855-949-3377. Now, today we are going to be talking about how you, as an individual, can dive deep into resetting your body. So we're going to talk about reset your body, nutrient packed plan for weight loss and wellness. So even if you don't need to lose weight, all of us either want to obtain wellness or maintain it and not lose it. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about. And this show is for you. If you are watching us on any of the live streams and you would like to join us live, join us at dailywithdoczoom.com. That is Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Again, that's dailywithdoczoom.com. And if you're out on one of those platforms where you're able to comment, make sure that you comment. Let us know that you are there, where you are joining us from. And also, if you're watching the live stream or replay, make a comment in there and let us know. If you can subscribe, please do. If you can send us some love and like, please do. And especially if you hear something today and you think of somebody that would benefit from the information that you are hearing today on our program, share it with them. That's how we as individuals can make a huge difference. Am I talking too much? Okay, so as we are helping ourselves, somebody muted me, and helping our families, and then each of us are doing that, we're helping our communities. Together, we can make a difference around the world. So I am honored to bring to the screen with me one of my mentors, a friend, just somebody that I've learned so much. We've got some kindred spirit going on, and starting with the herbalism. And I was just super excited whenever I saw the products that she had put together and formulated that were included in the umbrella of longevity. So Dr. Laura Dennison, she is a naturopathic physician, iridologist, formulator, master herbalist, and so much more. And I love the fact that Dr. Dennison, you are willing to come and just share time with us in sharing your knowledge and what we can do and being part of the Daily with Doc community. Thank you, Dr. Laura.
Well, thank you, Becca, and it's an honor to be here. And I love your show that you do, and this is just amazing. And you know, your heart to give to people, that your caring heart. You know, I just love that, everything about you.
Well, thank you. It's, you know, it's a little bit of a reflection from you too, you know, because that's one thing that you do that I just absolutely adore and respect is what you do. You travel, you help people, even people that are not in your organization. They're still part of our family and our community. And that's just one of the things that I want to replicate in what I do as well. So thank you. So let's talk about what we can do to reset our body, what we can do with the hormones, because hormones are pretty big. Sleep is amazing, which can be affected by hormone imbalances. I mean, there's so many things that are linked. Just share with us what's on your heart today that have to go along with those lines of thinking and creating wellness. And if somebody needs to lose some weight, can help with that too.
Absolutely. And you know, everything is always a testament of something that you go through, right? And hormones have always been, you know, something I've battled because I had a hysterectomy at age 27. This was before we got into nutrients and before we started formulating products and different things like that. And I think about the hormone imbalance that kids nowadays have because of the processed food that we're eating. Okay, so the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, all of this is packed against us, especially whenever it comes to hormones. And so hormones can be out of balance fairly quickly. And we usually think about, estrogen, testosterone, the normal hormones that you hear about. But we never talk about melatonin. We never talk about serotonin. These different also brain neurotransmitters that actually gets very messed up. Insulin. You don't talk about insulin a lot. And here's the thing why I wanted to talk about hormones and weight loss. I went through a traumatic event in my life. After I was in my 50s, okay, I was taking care of a granddaughter, and she left, and then I was taking care of my dad, and he was struggling with cancer, and so all of a sudden I put on 50 pounds, and I didn't know sleep was, because I was not sleeping. I would wake up at 2 in the morning every morning, and I would start praying. I didn't know who I was supposed to pray for, but I knew that I was waking up, and so I knew that something I needed to pray. So when longevity sort of opened my eyes to sleep, okay, they came out with this fantastic product, okay, the sleep gummies. Oh my goodness, you guys, this changed my world, okay? And it really got me thinking on, the benefits of sleep. Our bodies need to rest and digest, okay? And so that happens when we sleep. So if our sleep is being interrupted, okay, we never get into that REM sleep, which REM sleep is very important, especially whenever it comes to detoxifying, especially detoxifying at the cellular level of, at the brain. Okay. And so that's why when you don't get enough sleep, you wake up groggy, you got brain fog, you have all these different things. And it's because your body never got to go through that active REM sleep, okay? That rapid eye movement where you actually are detoxifying. It's actually called the glymphatic system, the benefits of that. But, I was, so I wasn't sleeping. I was eating healthy. I was doing all the right things. I was taking my nutrients, but I still wasn't losing weight. When I started sleeping is when it changed my world. I mean, it really did. And so, weight loss is one benefit of getting good rested sleep is you're going to start losing weight. And when you start doing all the right things, and like, I think about kids, and I think about and his message was so strong about these nutrients, but it was so strong for you, but he was really had a strong message about children and kids. And I think about, and you're starting to, more people are coming out and talking about the food industry and how the food industry is against us. And so when I think about my grandkids, I think about their food, and I think about their daily, what they're eating, and how it's impacting their life, but it's really causing a disruption in hormones for boys and girls. I mean, puberty is happening earlier. I mean, when I think about when I was growing up, puberty was around you know 13, 14. Now it's happening at 9 and 10. You guys, this is horrible. This is the what we've been hit with, is this environment of processed foods, this environment of, disrupting of our hormones, and it causes chronic conditions. So back to being balanced. Okay, so here's the main hormones that you need to think about. And then I'm going to do a few hormone hacks, okay, that can actually help. And I'm going to talk about a few products. Okay, so sleep. Okay, here's one of the number one. Serotonin is made when we sleep, okay? It makes us feel cozy and safe. That is our comforting hormone, and that is made at night, okay? And it's made 95% of serotonin is made in the gut, okay? So intermittent fasting is very beautiful whenever it comes to this hormone, okay? Because you're not eating as much, you have an eating window, so you're letting your digestive process heal more. Okay. And so, so you make serotonin, 95% is made in the gut. Melatonin. Okay. That's the sleep hormone that everybody talks about, everybody knows about. There's two plant-based melatonin that goes in this Beyond Sleep gummy, which is a beautiful product. It's the master sleep hormone. So if you're not getting adequate sleep, okay, then all of a sudden your body starts making too much cortisol. Okay, so that's another hormone. Cortisol is our stress related hormone, and when you make too much, okay, so cortisol is necessary. Okay, it's that fight or flight. You're driving down the road, and you have to, you almost get hit by a car or something like that. That's that fight or flight. It's our instinct to take care of that stress. Okay, but when you make too much, then your body actually goes in the opposite direction. You have too much stress, you can't handle stress. Your heart rate variability is not very good. That's that beat between your heartbeat that actually you can handle stress. And so when you make too much, one, weight loss isn't going to happen, and they actually call it the cortisol belly. And that's where I was. I wasn't getting enough sleep, and I was making way too much cortisol. Then you have adrenaline. Adrenaline is our fight or flight. The adrenal gland releases the adrenaline. And that also, if you're, I was talking to a gentleman this last week, and we were talking about sleep. And I'd done a Zyto scan with him, and adrenaline was showing up as one of the hormones that was out of range. And I just asked him, I said, let's talk about your sleep. And he goes, well, I actually wake up and I'm panicky. Okay. And so his body was making too much adrenaline. Okay. And so it was causing his body to actually be panicked or anxiety. And so all of these are necessary, and all of these are necessary to get a good night's rest. Okay. These are hormones that are so effective, one for weight loss, but for so many different things. Okay. Stress is another thing that we're combated with. Okay. The environment, we're not getting the nutrition out of our food. There's not is when you really look at our food supply and what doctors don't even, there was this post that somebody posted, and it says, if your doctor prescribes you medication without first asking about, one, your diet, your sleep, your exercise routine, your water consumption, whether you have any structural issues in the stress in your life. If he doesn't ask you any of those questions before he gives you a medication, then he's no different than being a drug dealer. And that is so true. Yesterday, we were at a resort. We were having some R&R, and we were talking, this lady, she was really sick, and, she was, skinny and, beautiful, but she just got diagnosed with lupus, and and so we started talking. I said, well, tell me how you sleep, what's your sleep patterns? She goes, oh, I don't sleep at all. Well, her doctor never has addressed any of that. And it just upsets me that in the medical force, okay, they just want to diagnose you with a disease and get you on a prescription instead of trying to get to the root problem. And so back to my journey, and what's great is she lives in the same town, and we're going to have a consultation tomorrow. So I know I can help her. I know, and she's on like 14 different medications, and and she still is sick. She does not feel well. And now they're going to give her the lupus diagnosis. And, they've done all these testings. They couldn't figure things out. And so they're just going to diagnose her with lupus. But to my point is when you start focusing and going to the root of the problem, okay, you have to talk about diet. You have to talk about what people are consuming, okay, that's going to, battle hormones, the soy, the processed food, the oils, the gluten, and I want to talk about oils real quick because we talk about gluten quite a bit, but oils, you guys, destroys the satisfied hormone. It destroys leptin, okay, and so when you think about eating, okay, and you're using an oil or a fried food, which you should not, okay, you need to have an animal based, okay, fat like butter, ghee, but when you use a plant-based, okay, you're destroying that satisfied hormone, okay, and so you're always going to be hungry after you eat fried food, or and sugar acts the same way, and so you really got to pay attention. Yes, ma'am.
So that kind of goes to you just can't eat one philosophy when you're looking at chips and fries and anything fried like you were talking about, right?
Absolutely. Yes, because leptin is in the gut, okay, and it signals to the brain when you're full, okay. Well, when you eat fried foods, it makes a film and it suppresses leptin, okay. So then you have leptin resistance, which a lot of people get diagnosed with that, and it's because they overeat. But yes, the whole chip bag. That's the reason why you eat one. It's not because of the salt. People say, "Oh, I just crave salt." No, it's the oil, the plant-based oil that they fried the chip in. Okay, causes you to be leptin resistant. So oils are very harmful. Okay, and so we don't talk enough about them. We do talk a lot about gluten. How inflammatory, and we talk about how oils are inflammatory to the arteries and different things, cardiovascular system. But you guys, it also deals with hormones. Okay, so don't eat the
Wow.
oil, any plant-based
Yeah.
oils, especially.
And I wanted to go back a little bit when you were talking about the woman who's been diagnosed with another disease, where they're doing all these testings, not finding anything, and throwing more and more prescription, which is managing disease, managing sickness, and not doing it very well. So I love the fact that you were talking about getting to the root of the cause, root of what it is that's really causing these poor health conditions. So I just wanted to point that out, Dr. Laura. Thank you so much. Keep going.
Well, and you're so right. And, she was so discouraged. And when I got to talk to her, and me just bringing up sleep, I knew she wasn't sleeping. I knew that there was a hormone imbalance. I knew that she was getting diagnosed, and our hormones really start tanking about age 35. And that's usually when autoimmune conditions are diagnosed. Okay. They're not diagnosed early. They're usually after, and women are more prevalent to have these diagnoses of the different autoimmune conditions. And when we left, she was so excited. I gave her hope because, here she is taking 14 different medications and she doesn't feel any better than when she first started them. And she's a young lady. She's got, 2 kids. One's going to just started college, and I know what I get to help her with. Okay. And that's why Becca and why everybody else on here that's health coaches, we do this as we're very passionate because we know we have the answer for them. And weight loss is a big buzzword. Okay. And everybody wants to get on the weight loss train and all that kind of stuff. And do I do fasting? Do I do keto? Do I do low carb? Now they're coming out with the carnivore diet, and so it gets confusing. But if you go to the root of the problem, okay, you're gonna lose weight. Okay, I had to figure out what I was doing in my life, and it wasn't sleeping. Okay, that was where I was messing up. Just a simple sleep. Okay, good night's rest. And I'm telling you what, you guys, if you've never tried this, this is like a game changer. Okay. Now, I always thought that I was getting good rest. Okay. Because, I never, I would sleep. I mean, I always thought I was sleeping pretty good. Okay. I would wake up, but then I'd pray and then I'd go back to sleep. Okay. But I was always waking up tired. Okay. I was never rested. And so I'd have to go to the coffee pot. I'd have to go. Got started on these, okay, and I've tried some melatonin products before, but when I got started on these, I'm telling you what, within 72 hours, my circadian rhythm, my sleep schedule, everything was falling in place. I started losing weight. I'm down 20 pounds, okay, So now I still have 30 to go. Okay. But it's always progress over perfection. Okay. That's my motto is I am definitely not a perfect person. And, you know, I do progress over perfection, but you guys, this is a game changer. And so even for people that think they do sleep well, if you're not, if you're getting into REM sleep, okay, one, when you wake up in the morning, you should remember your dream. Okay. And then by the time you go to the bathroom, you've already forgot it, but you knew that you dreamed. Okay. And so, which this, I have some really crazy dreams with this too. I mean, I'm just going to put that out there. And I look forward to sleeping. Okay. And you guys, for people that have insomnia or, you know, cannot sleep, they dread going to sleep. I look forward to my sleep. That sounds crazy, but it's when you feel it. And as a naturopathic doctor, you know, I'm on a lot of great products. And this product, like I said, they came out with it about 2 years ago, I think. And now it's in the sleep system. And there's also the HGH and the Osteomag, and, you know, to get you a good restful sleep. If we start helping people with their sleep, it's just going to change their world, you know, from mentally, you know, physically, you know, digestion. When you're sleeping, your body is resetting blood sugar. Blood sugar is another thing that at night, usually people that have blood sugar issues, you know, they'll wake up multiple times having to go to the bathroom, having to urinate, or you know, they wake up really thirsty. You know, and so that's disrupting their sleep. And so blood sugar also plays into a healthy weight loss, you know, and that's the big buzz out there. Okay. I saw another lady yesterday at the pool. And
Oh no, I think we may have lost her. She will be right back. You know,
oh,
folks, I really do hope that you are there. She is wonderful that you're grasping this information and absorbing it and thinking of people who may benefit from this program. So if you're on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, any of these platforms, there's so many more, Spotify, and make sure that you share this program with somebody. Because I know for a fact, I have thought of at least 5 more people that I have not shared this information with. And with that leptin, that satisfaction receptor being turned off because of these vegetable oils that we're frying food in, oh my goodness, that right there is a huge aha moment that I think is going to touch a lot of people, because you're right. We talk a lot about gluten. We even talk about oils, but not this aspect of frying food. So, Dr. Dennison, your message today is just absolutely incredible. We're already working on ways to get it out there even more. So please keep going. Is she frozen again? Oh no. Okay, so just as a reminder, folks, if you're here live with us or even watching this program and somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with them. They cared enough about you and took the time to share this information with you. Take the time and tell them thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this information, because, folks, this is how we as a world are able to help each other get stronger and healthier. And when our bodies and our minds are strong and healthy, we're able to respond and react better to different situations, making it a much more friendlier place to be. So there is so much that we are able to do as empowered individuals that I am super excited to have Dr. Laura Dennison on with us, talking about the importance of sleep, the importance of staying away from those vegetable oils, those bottled oils, the fried foods, and the importance of blood sugar. So you were going through, you know, how our bodies, when we're sleeping, we're processing sugars. Can you pick up where you were with that and keep going? Because this is fantastic.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was about to talk about, I think Big Brother was watching and knocked me off of here because I was going to talk about the big, prescription out there. Okay. That is people are getting on for blood sugar support, but they're doing it just for weight loss. And so this other lady at the pool, okay, and I do a lot of networking in the pool, I'll be honest with you. And I got a lot of good team members from the pool, but you know, she had lost all this weight, but then now she's got all this saggy skin. And she goes, you know, what do I do with this? And I said, well, we can help you with that as well. And I know Dr. Wallach always talks about, you know, the collagen and the glucogel, and especially whenever you're on a weight loss journey, okay? Because that's the first thing that happens is the skin starts to sag. And you know, I think about that prescription and how many side effects goes to that, okay? And if you're taking the, I'm not judging you or anything like that, but there's ways to do weight loss, okay? And to do it healthy. And like I said, you got to get to the root of the problem. My root of the problem was sleep, okay? And so, you know, another disruption is blood sugar, okay? And if you're on wanting to do weight loss, okay, you guys, we have this fantastic product called Sweet Eze, okay? And it has the guaimanite leaf in it, which is one of the main ingredients that really helps with blood sugar. It's got the bitter melon, it's got bonita, it's got cinnamon, it's got the L-aspartic acid, ginseng, which ginseng, you guys, is an amazing adaptogen. But you guys, I do this before I go to bed because now that I know, okay, that blood sugar, okay, is also being restored at night, okay, I don't want, you know, my pancreas, you know, not working effectively, okay, and I want my blood sugar, especially, you guys, insulin, and I know Dr. Wallach, and we'll talk about this another time, but you guys, the metabolic response, okay, you know, and a lot of it deals with the blood sugar, okay, and so, you know, different metabolic disorders, and, you know, I know he just wrote a book, but you guys, blood sugar is one of those. And so I make sure that, you know, on my journey, this is a part of my products that I have, okay? I also there you go, the metabolic disorders and different things like that. And that's the world we're living in right now. Go ahead, and Becca, tell a little bit about that book.
Well, so especially since Dr. Wallach is on this and he called and left me a message. The metabolic syndrome, this is his latest publication. I'm very honored that I was part of writing it. It also on the back side has the good foods, bad foods list, so it's easy to find. And you can get the metabolic syndrome and all of Dr. Wallach's publications at drjwallach.com. In addition to the metabolic syndrome, you know, he was talking about the metabolic syndrome way back in 2004 when he wrote this book, Hell's Kitchen. And I believe it's chapter 11. It's 11 or 14, where he went into the metabolic syndrome and talking about it way before it was ever one of these buzzwords with metabolic syndrome. I mean, I didn't find out I had metabolic syndrome until 2018, 19. And that was after gaining 120 pounds after having my son. And you're going back to what you're talking about, you know, that saggy skin. So I've lost 100 pounds. I don't have a lot of saggy skin. I got on Dr. Wallach's program. I got on the collagen, the glucogel, not knowing that I was going to be losing weight or keeping my skin tone. I was doing it because I had degenerative bone and disc disease. And just the benefits, that root cause. And it's just absolutely amazing how the body works together as a whole. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And yes, absolutely, Dr. Wallach, we do promote your books here because you are the one that brought this crusade to us and allow us to be able to help others through your publications and the formulas that you and your team originally formulated, and being so smart as to include the Stay Natural line that Dr. Laura Dennison herself is so instrumental in formulating and bringing to us. So thank you, Dr. Wallach. Thank you, Dr. Laura. Keep going.
Okay. Yes. So metabolic syndrome, okay, is a buzzword, like you said, but it's been around, and it's been a disorder that, all of us probably have experienced at one time or another. And it goes back to hormones. It goes back to sleeping. It goes back to eating all the right foods. It goes back to staying away from all the bad foods. You guys, I cannot be, uh, there's a book called Metabolical, and I don't have that in front of me to tell you about the author, but it talks about how the food industry, you guys, there's only 10 makers of food. Okay, 10 big companies. Okay, they monopolize the whole food industry. Okay, and every year they have what's called an ingredientologist come in. Okay, and they come in and they want to make the food to be more tasteful, more addictive. So they get their chemist and they try to make food more addictive. So then you're always coming back as a consumer and buying that product. Okay, they are not producing any food for the benefit of you. It's all for profit, and it is such a bad industry. And you guys, we have to really think, our kids are, at least when we were growing up, I mean, Becca, I know, you probably too, we had some stability of eating, 3 meals a day, more, my mom, she was very good at making sure we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the different things. And kids nowadays, my grandkids, and they do try to do as well as they can, but they're doing activities till 9 o'clock. I mean, they got to. And so this is such an important message right now. We're talking about weight loss. Okay, weight loss is just a benefit of getting this nutrition. We need to be stronger at getting people on these 9 essential nutrients. Okay, but we got to be stronger at putting the right stuff in. Okay, but keeping the bad stuff out. You guys, we are in an environment right now that you need to eat organic. You need to do grass fed. I mean, there's so many different things, because the other stuff, we don't even know what's in it anymore. They're making it in such a way that, a piece of chicken, that does not look like a piece of chicken. Okay. Unless you're eating organic, grass fed. Okay. And so these nutrients are just so important, but, getting to the root of the problem. Okay, so sleep is one key thing. Okay, another thing for hormones. Okay, this is my favorite product. Okay, this is called Sta-Balanced, and this does regulate your, estrogen, your testosterone, your progesterone. This is a product that can help do that. What it does is it helps to boost. It has ingredients to boost your body to make the necessary hormones. Okay, so this is another product that is so important, especially whenever it comes to weight loss, but also for hormones, is protein. You guys, and especially animal-based protein. If you're a vegetarian on here, I am not trying to tell you to change, what you're doing, but protein is the key for hormones, and protein is the key for building blocks of in being able to sleep. Okay, so tryptophan, okay, turns into serotonin. Okay, it helps to make serotonin. Okay, so where do we get tryptophan? We get it from protein. We get it from the amino acids of the protein, and it's animal protein. Okay, and so the TMR is a fantastic shake. Youngevity loves this shake. It's the only shake being shipped out of Mexico. Okay, and so they just love this. I was at an event and Michelle Wallach was there, and she says, your shake is the best tasting shake. Okay, and so I love that, because I put, my blood, sweat, and tears into that product. It has 5 different proteins. Okay, and so we didn't stop at just 3. okay? Because usually you'll have whey protein and a couple of others, but we decided to do 5 different types. That's what makes this product unique. But it also does, that rest and repair that we were talking about. It helps stabilize your hormones, for a good 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so that leptin, okay, feeling satisfied and full. These proteins help to do that. Okay, it makes you feel full. But we got whey protein, we got the whey protein isolates, we got milk protein concentrate, we got egg protein, which you guys, eggs, and we know how important it is for eggs are a complete protein. You guys, eggs are life. Okay, eat an abundance of eggs, and I know Dr. Wallach talks about that. And
Oh, I'm not quite sure, Dr. Laura, your audio keeps going out. So we
Okay.
just missed the last 30 seconds. Now I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was talking about eggs. Okay,
Yeah.
the TMR has has egg protein in it. Okay, but eggs are a complete protein. Okay, and I know Dr. Wallach talks about eat an abundance of eggs, and he's talking about it. Well, it's just a complete protein, and so it does so much more than reduce inflammation. Think about it also as regulating your hormones. Eggs will do that. Another hormone hack is to help you feel satisfied. Okay, eat an egg before you sit down for dinner. Okay, if you're fixing a meal for the kids and you don't want to overeat, eat an egg before you go eat. Okay, because that is a complete protein. It will help make you feel full, and it just satisfies the body. It satisfies that leptin, okay, and the ghrelin, which is also a hunger hormone, but it really helps to satisfy that. So eggs are complete. The other proteins in the TMR is the chia seeds. Chia seeds is also a good source of fiber, but it also is good for protein. And so you guys, another fun thing that Youngevity did is they came out with that coffee, the adaptogens. Oh my goodness, that is an amazing product. You take 2 scoops of TMR chocolate, okay, and you put in that coffee and you shake it up, pour it over ice. It's like having an iced mocha. It is so delicious. And I break my fast at 11 with that, a chocolate TMR and a coffee stick. And so, but you guys, that's focus on sleep. Make sure that you're putting the right foods in and keeping the bad ones out. You guys, if you're on here and you're still struggling with being well and you're still eating processed foods, it's on you. I mean, that's how important it is. And then these food makers are not making it for your consumption to make you feel good. They are doing it to get you addicted to that product, and that's it. It's all for profit. And so when you think about processed foods, it's full of oils, it's full of sugar, it's fake sugars. I mean, all that, it's not good for you. And that's what's causing, besides us being nutrient deficient, okay, we have to be on these 9 essential nutrients. But when we're putting in processed food as well, you guys, you can't out supplement a bad diet. And it causes chronic conditions. And so it is so important to pass that along to your kids, pass it along to your nieces, nephews, whoever you can. Say, stay away from processed foods because it is so harmful for you. So,
Yeah, you mentioned fake sugars. So we're talking like saccharin and aspartame. Any other fake sugars that we should really, really stay away from?
well, and you hit the top ones, okay? You guys, sugar in all forms can cause a negative effect, okay? And I know a lot of people say, oh, honey's good, but you guys, honey still causes your body to release insulin, okay? So if you're having blood sugar issues, you need to stay away from all sugar. I mean, but if you're going to do sugar, do real sugar, okay? Fructose is a natural occurring, from fruit, but it also causes an insulin response. So in the TMR, when I developed this, I made sure that we didn't put anything that was going to cause, because I already had diabetics in my company. I didn't want any insulin response. Okay, so we were able to achieve the taste with the stevia and the low on fruit. Okay, and so those two, okay, is how we achieve the taste. We didn't put fructose. We didn't put and there's some products that, you know, sucralose is another one, but it's still a chemical. Okay, and so and xylitol is another, you know, fake sugar. It doesn't cause an insulin response, but it's a chemical. Okay, so if you're going to do it, you want to do real sugar or sugar from fruit, which is fructose, or do stevia and the low-han fruit is really good too. Those two are really good. Now, I do get people say all the time, "Oh, I can't do stevia." Okay, you're doing a product that contains probably something else that's in that stevia package. Okay, organic stevia does not leave a bitter taste. It does not have any negative effects, and so we put an organic source stevia, and that's what you're going to get with a lot of the longevity products is an organic sourced, so they're not getting this bitter taste that stevia people think that stevia has, and so I just wanted to throw that out there. But
Yes, thank you so much for that. And we have about 15 more minutes and we have some hands up, plus I have a couple questions. So first, let's ask, so somebody was asked while you were talking about the sweeties and taking at night, how many sweeties do you recommend taking at night or bedtime?
okay, so I always do the recommended dose. I start there and then I always increase it if need be. Okay, if a person is having extreme blood sugar issues, then they would want to definitely increase the product times 2 to start out with. Okay, and also make sure that they're getting in the nutrients, you know, the BTT especially. I mean, that's going to really help with blood sugar. You know, get on the whole blood sugar pack. But the Sweet Eze, you know, they would want to probably double it before they go to bed. So you take 1 capsule with each meal, but you could take this on an empty stomach. Okay, and so I would take 2 before I would go to bed if I was having blood sugar issues.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And let's go to the first hand that is up, and we have AJ. AJ, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Dr. Laura, how are you?
Doing great.
Fantastic. You know, I just had a little bit of commentary. You know, today in the news, they mentioned that one of the GLP-1 drugs, injectables, cut the odds of diabetes by 94%, and this was a 174-week study. This is I don't know how often they inject themselves, but if at least once a week, that's 174 shots. It costs about $1,000 a week. If you got insurance, they said about 54% of the people had some insurance that covered it, but they would still leave them with at least on the low side, $250 a week that they're spending, and you know, on the high side, closer to $1,000 a week. What do you think an alternative might be to this, in my opinion, kind of dangerous drug class for their goal? What do you think you could do with $250 a week alternatively to help someone to lose the weight?
Okay, so everything that we talked about today, okay, is a good starting point. But the 90 essential nutrients, they are starving. They are so deficient in the minerals, especially, is the reason why we overeat. Okay, and so, but you guys, it's not easy. Now that shot is the easy way out. I mean, it's hitting that easy button. Okay, they're not hungry anymore. It's getting rid of you know, but there's so many different side effects that also, that's what they don't put out there is they did the study, okay, with the injectables, okay, but they're not saying any of the side effects, mental anguish.
Well, they did mention that suicide might be one of the side effects, suicidal thoughts.
You know, and like I said, I'm not judging anybody. I just seen, I'm very observant, and the gal I was talking to yesterday, you know, she lost all this weight. She's saggy skin, but it was like her personality. I mean, I could tell in her that she didn't talk very much, and she used to be really bubbly, and so there's so much that goes into what that drug is doing. Okay. And I am not for any prescription drug to fix things like that. Okay. You need to go back to the drawing board. You need to get on the 9 essential nutrients, but you need to be doing it according to your body weight. Okay. If you're weighing 300 pounds, you need to make sure you're getting, enough of the BTT and everything in you, because that's what people usually don't do. They'll pay $250 for an injection, but they're not going to buy $250 worth of 9 essential nutrients. Okay. But I'd also get on the blood sugar pack. The Sweet Eze. This Sweet Eze, it works similarly to that injection. This Sweet Eze does. Okay. And so and then you have to address everything else that is causing them to be overweight. All the packaged foods. Because here's the thing is what that drug does is it stops the hunger hormone. Okay. It makes you not hungry, but it also makes you get sick if you eat something that's sweet, like sugar or alcohol, all these different things. That's what it's, so people stay away from that, but they're still eating packaged foods. They're still going on the inside of the grocery store and eating, the pastas and the different things. They're just can't eat as much. And so another product that is really good on any weight loss is from the Stay Natural line is the Eat Less. Okay. Appetite suppressant. Okay. This is one that is going to curb your appetite. Yes, it's amazing. It also works on healthy bowel movements. And so it helps to move things through. Then also the Stay Thin. The Stay Thin is also an amazing product.
Okay, and you are a little frozen, Dr. Laura, but hopefully we can still hear you. And just what role does the hypothalamus, I hope I didn't miss all of that, but the hypothalamus support fit in all of this? And you might be frozen.
I think we lost her again. But she'll be right back. Folks, thank you. Yes, thank you again, everybody, for being here with us. And Dr. Laura, can we hear you now?
Okay, so you guys, I'm telling it's Big Brother. Man, when I start talking about pharmaceuticals and saying that you shouldn't be on it, man, it takes my internet away. So I don't know what's going on here. So I am so sorry. But yes, Stay Thin would be the other one for weight loss goals because it's a fat trapper. And also, if you're doing keto, it helps to get you into ketosis as well. Okay.
I had briefly asked about the hypothalamus support, how it fits in.
Oh my gosh, that is an amazing product. Okay, so your hypothalamus is your connector. Okay, so it's the one that's telling the pineal gland to release certain hormones, the pituitary gland to release certain hormones. It in regards to temperature. There's so many different functions that the hypothalamus does. And so most generally, if a person has hormone issues, their hypothalamus is not being supported enough. And so that is a beautiful product from the Good Herbs line. I don't have mine in front of me, but it's in a tincture. It's a beautiful product. It's got the ashwagandha in it. It has, there's only like 4 or 5 herbs. And I do like that in the tincture form. In the Stay Natural line, you got more ingredients of herbs, but it's not in a tincture. So a tincture, it having 4 to 5 herbs is more effective than putting a lot of different herbs in there, okay? Because it's in a tincture. And the hypothalamus support, you guys, is a beautiful product from the Good Herbs line. It's amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Laura. And let's go to Dolly. Dolly, go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Dr. Laura today?
Yeah, so I have hormone balances, and I believe I have thyroid problems too, and I've been losing my hair. I am taking Dr. Wallach's, like the couple of products from them actually, but I don't feel like it's actually like my hair. I just feel like I keep on losing my hair more, so not sure what else I can do.
Okay, so hair loss is usually a mineral and vitamin deficiency, or it can also be from hormones, but they work in conjunction together on hair loss. Okay, or having hair where you don't want it, like on women, chin and different things like that. Okay, that's also an imbalance of hormones. So I would definitely get on the 9 essential nutrients, take it according to your body weight. Okay, it is so important for you to get the right amount in. Okay, then I also would work on the hormones, and I would probably do the Stay Balanced. Okay, and I would also look at the Ocean's Gold, which is a fantastic product, for any thyroid issues. Okay, and it's not going to overly act the thyroid. It's something natural for you. Those would be my top ones. Another product I also like that is really good is the Z Radical. The Z Radical also helps. It's got the fucoidan, which fucoidan is a natural ground seaweed, and so it actually helps to facilitate a healthy thyroid as well. So that's two great products that you could actually add with your 9 essential nutrients.
And thank you.
Excellent. Great question, Dolly. Thank you so much for bringing that to Daily with Doc. Folks, you are watching Daily with Doc. That is sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. And we have a few more questions before we end. So you were talking about connective tissue. And the skin is part of that connective tissue. I have a young lady, she's 24 years old, and was diagnosed within the last few years with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue, quote unquote, genetic disease. I don't think her mom has it or her dad. What can we do to help support this young lady in regards to having just over elasticity in the joints?
Okay, so she definitely wants to get on the healthy bone and joint pack, okay, and take it according to weight. Okay, so the glucogel is going to be a very important building block, especially whenever it comes to the collagen. Okay, her body's not making necessary collagen that she needs. I also would get her on the collagen peptides that's in the blue canister, the one that has it has more different types of collagen. Okay, 5 different types, because they all work different in the body. Okay, so collagen, we need her to make sure that she's getting enough collagen. I would also get her on I would get her on the TMR, the protein shake. Okay, because it's full of the amino acids. The plant-based shake, you guys, especially when it comes to connective tissue, and it has over 10,000 branched chain amino acids, okay, that you get from those plant-based proteins. Okay, same thing with the TMR. It's full of these branched chain amino acids that you get from protein, and so protein is very necessary whenever it comes to the connective tissue. That would be, and then our product Stay Restored is it's a joint product, but it's also helps with inflammation. It has shark's cartilage in it, and so that's also really good, especially whenever you have rare conditions like that. And so, because the shark cartilage, you don't see in a lot of products out there, but that type of collagen is just, that cartilage is just super powerful. Okay, that glucosamine chondroitin, and we get it from the shark cartilage.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I know that she's
Absolutely.
not on that one, so fantastic. Now we have a couple more questions. We have Bruce that is joining us. He's out on YouTube. He has a question. He says, last week, Ruth Ellen mentioned the product Stay Balanced, which we're talking about today as well, for women and hot flashes. He said, can Dr. Laura expand on that? Is it a secret sauce to the 90 essential nutrients? And my question that I know that a lot of people will benefit the answer from, is it just for women?
It is for women and men. And so what it does is it has different nutrients. Okay, it's got the zinc, it's got selenium, it has different nutrients that actually helps for hormone health. Okay, and usually, so it's trying to get to some of those deficiencies. But then it has herbal sourced ingredients that actually boost your body to make necessary hormones. Okay, that's the reason why we call it Stay Balanced. I don't want you to be on a natural estrogen, okay, if your body's not needing it, because that's usually what women tend to do, is they go get a black cohosh or something like that. that is a phytoestrogen, thinking that's going to balance their hormones. You have a balancing act every day when it comes to hormones. So I want, and we don't all fit in the same box. Okay. So me balancing my hormones and what I do on a daily basis, exercise, different things like that, it goes into what helps me. Okay. So this balancing product, the Sta-Balanced, has natural testosterone boosters. Okay. It's got the yohombi bark. It also has the maca. It has the fennel seed. It has, you know, the fenugreek. These are all necessary, especially fenugreek, to balance hormones naturally. Okay. So if your body's needing more testosterone, it's going to help to boost the body to make it. If your body's needing more estrogen, which is usually not the case because we live in a big estrogen cesspool of all foods, you know, so we don't normally ever does anybody need the estrogen. Okay. It's a misnomer that when we go through menopause, we need to put estrogen back in our body. No, your body needs to make the necessary estrogen that it needs. Okay. You no longer have your ovaries, so you don't need, so much estrogen, right? And so this helps to balance, and it's a daily balancing act. And so men and women can take it. It's beautiful. It's a product that I took, and what really got me focused is when I, at age 27, complete hysterectomy. This was the product that saved my life, and it helped with my mood. So, a lot of people are like, well, I don't have hot flashes or night sweats, and I think I went through menopause and it's great. And so we start talking, and I said, people with anxiety, depression, moods, low energy, brain fog. There's so much more that goes into it. Sexual performance. We should be active till the day we die. I mean, we were born to do that act. Okay, that's a sign of love. Okay, and so you should feel good enough to do that till. I had a lady. She started on this when she was 79. And she called me the next week. She goes, "Oh my goodness, I've been missing this." And you guys, it is that fantastic of a product, okay? But it's a balancing act. And AJ's laughing at me now because I can really go into a different direction, but I won't. But this is a beautiful product to help. And everybody, and you guys, and I think about, because my son, he's 31. And in fact, this last Sunday, we were talking about testosterone. Hormones, and he drank a lot of energy drinks, not that his mom wanted him to. Okay, teenagers will do whatever they want to do, but and I know that affected his testosterone. Well, you guys, people are being affected by low testosterone at a younger age. Okay, and so depression is like one of the number one that men, they get put on depression medicine. And a lot of times it's just low testosterone and, balancing the hormones. And so you just got to really go off your symptoms. Now, Becca, you had mentioned the Zytoscan. Okay. You guys, we have a link, and we get to do it's sort of like the dashboard in your car. It sort of just gives you warning lights to your health. Okay. There's no diagnosing, treating, cure, and prevent anything. But what it does is it actually takes 30 seconds and less than a minute, but there's an app. You hold it up to your face. It's going to get the blood flow. Okay. It's called transdermal optical imaging. You're going to see, and Apple's the reason why we have this technology, with our Fitbits, and now you can put your fingers on and get your blood sugar taken. You don't have to get poked and prodded and all this kind of stuff. So technology is incredible, especially with this technology. It's called transdermal optical imaging. So it goes through and it gets the blood flow and then tells us information. Well, one of them is hormones. You guys, it'll say testosterone if you're low on testosterone. It tells this information, and then it comes back with longevity products, okay, of what you should be taking. We always start with the 9 essential nutrients. The 90 for life. The healthy body pack, we have to have that. And if you're not taking it correctly, it's going to show up in here. So it's also tells on you, but it's also going to, help if you got hormones or sleep. The sleep category, guys, people aren't sleeping. I'm telling you, and it's disrupting their life. And this product comes back. The HGH comes back. I mean, it's just an incredible tool. I know Becca has access to it, so you guys get with her. Let her do a scan. Now, I charge for mine, and so Becca works out a deal with you and stuff, but this also, it's just sort of like a warning light. Okay, this is what's going on. And it helps me also with people and their emotions, okay, because there's a whole emotion section. And you know, I think that mental health is what probably the top priority right now that we need in America is mental health, and it's starting at a young age. The stress is such, these kids, and you know, we got to get this information out. We got to get them. If you're on here and this is all new to you, these the 9 essential nutrients, this is your lifeline. This is what you were meant to be on this show today, because if I can, I mean, I know I can help you with your hormones. I know I can help you with your sleep, but I cannot make you drink the 9 essential nutrients. You have to take control and be the strongest advocate and get these 9 essential nutrients in your body, bar none. And you got to tell a lot of people about it, because that's the environment we live in right now, is we've got to have these 9 essential nutrients so we don't end up sick. And there's a lot of sick people out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as we're going through the show, you see me sipping. This is my tangy tangerine, my OsteoFX, my collagen. Dr. Laura has hers. You know, I go back and forth. I've got my water that has the plant-derived minerals in it. I personally like the strawberry kiwi mints. I know a lot of people also like the cherry mints, and there's also the plain plant-derived minerals that I will put an extra shot in my tangy tangerine. Folks, there's so much that we can do all on our own to support our bodies. You know, think of this as our temple. This is the temple that we were given and we need to take care of. And if we're putting garbage in, that's not taking care of the temple that we were given. And we can't expect it to last us our lifetime. Or the lifetime could be cut short because of what we're putting into it. Especially if you are athletic, and you know, so many kids. I mean, I have a heart for kids with, you know, in the athletic realm. In the summer, especially, they're sweating. That sweat is not just water; it's a soup of minerals that are being pulled out of the body, and the body needs those minerals to stay strong, to have healthy bones, to have healthy joints, have a healthy heart. You deprive the body of those minerals, your heart's going to quit on you. And that is something that we have experienced a lot over the last 4 years. And just a number of young athletes, suddenly their lives are cut short. Folks, we do this as Dr. Laura had mentioned in the beginning. We have a heart for people. We have a heart for you. We want to make sure that you are getting the information that you need to help yourself and help your family. And we're just part of a small community that has lots of room at the table to welcome more and more people to join us in promoting this message. Dr. Laura, thank you so much. Such a brilliant job at providing so much information that is not just for women, but for men and women both. Not just for the older, but the younger as well. I mean, it's incredible the hormones that are being pumped into the food, especially like the dairy and the meats, so that they grow faster, provide more milk, produce more milk. And to think that that's not getting into our bodies and affecting us, folks, don't be blind. Don't be naive. When she says go organic, that's reducing a lot of those artificial hormones that are being pumped into the food. That's reducing a lot of the pesticides and herbicides that, yes, the animal that's eating that plant that has those things sprayed on it, that's going into their tissues. Yes, it's going to affect you, and not in a positive way. So, Dr. Dennison, thank you again so much for being here with us. a great show, and I'm looking forward to having you on again this month, as we're going to go deeper into more topics that are really at the tip of what's on our minds as a society as a whole, because there are so many things that we as individuals can do to help ourselves. So again, thank you. Lots of questions that are coming in that we didn't get to. We are over time. If I could get the co-hosts on the screen with us, we could not do this without them. It is our honor and privilege, folks, as a team to provide this program to you. And we are just part of a team that is a small portion of a great community. So again, if somebody invited you to this program, make sure that you get back with them and tell them thank you. Say, hey, I want more information about what I can do to help myself. And they'll be able to help you do that. If you don't have anybody to reach out to, nobody to thank, we do have a team that is standing by to help you at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. Each of the individuals on my call team are certified holistic health coaches. They have gone through the program that's offered by the Institute of Holistic Health, where they're taught about Dr. Wallach's philosophies, looking at all 4 areas of health. And it actually goes into the 8 areas of health and wellness and living. But taking those 4 soft tissue, hard tissue, blood sugar, digestion, and linking to the nutrients that contribute to poor health conditions within those areas. You can find more information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach program by going to Coach with Doc. That's COACHWITHDOC.com for more information. Click on the enrollment option. And folks, there's even a payment plan. So when you click on enroll, it's going to tell you about the payment plan. And as a special little incentive for our listeners, we have a savings code, a discount code, a promo code, whatever you want to call it, is capital S, capital A, capital V, capital E, 50. Use that as the promotion code. Make sure that you click apply, and that will apply it to 50% off the cost of the course. And again, Dr. Dennison mentioned the Zytoscan. Reach out to me by going to info@dailywithdoc.com, and it will give you instructions on what needs to be done in order for you to get your own scan to see what it is that transdermal imaging says about the different markers, those biomarkers within the body. Again, that's info@dailywithdoc.com for more information about the Zytoscan, about the business opportunity and joining our community. But most of all, thank you, everybody. Share this program with somebody that you know or love, or both, because you didn't hear this just to hear it. You heard it because somebody else needs to hear it as well. Now, we have our team on with us, and let me just, I want to go by, the order that we received. Of course, Dr. Dennison, fabulous job. Let's have it up for Dr. Dennison. Thank you so much. We have Rod, who is part of the team and helping to let people in today, and also looking at the different platforms and commenting and looking for questions as well. We have Sherry, who's part of my technical staff, helping to get the program up and running, set up for the stream. We have Ruth Ellen, who is the executive production manager, who also is very instrumental in getting that set up, so much that it's capturing this image that we have here on Zoom, putting it into another software where we have the banners and where we can do the graphics, and then pushing it out onto the different platforms so that you who are watching us outside of this Zoom can see it as a whole production. And it's not just a production for production, folks. It's a production that's coming from our hearts to you because we truly do care. We have Marilyn, Marilyn is just fantastic as she's doing dictation, putting it into the chat and grabbing that information plus extra information that supports what is being shared with on our Zoom. This information is only available if you are live with us. So you are welcome to join us dailywithdoczoom.com from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And we have, last but not least, we have AJ Sportis, who is very instrumental in helping us get on all these different platforms and get the streams going, including Roku TV, Apple TV, and soon to be Fire TV. So we couldn't do this without the team, folks. And we've got people saying, thank you, team, awesome team. You know, we are an awesome team, and I love the fact that we can all work together no matter where we're at, coming from different upbringings, different areas around the country, not just the country, but the world, here to help you. So folks, get back with the person, share this program with you. And if there's no one to thank, you can go to our website, dailywithdoc.com, use that contact option, give us a call. The phone number is also on the website because we are here to make sure that everybody, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you're getting what is needed to help support you as an individual to not just barely survive, but thrive. My name is Becca Dukes. As the hostess of this program and director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health, I want to do a shout out to Dr. Wallach. I saw he was on. Thank you for joining us, Doc. And we are here to help promote his message because it's the truth. We provide solutions. You've got problems, you're come to the right place for solutions. Until next time, bye for now.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.